Welcome to your second top cut feature here, and we are going to be having probably one of the most interesting matchups, Tri-Brigade versus Malice, but there is a twist. There are toon monsters involved in this. So we're going to go ahead and see a shifter touching down here. That's really good against the Tri-Brigade matchup, and the chaining of the Perulia, which is just even crazier to see that, you know, this level of coming down. But we're going to see an Ash Blossom chain on the Perulia, because we don't want the opponent getting any interaction off of that draw power. So we'll just go ahead and start things off with our Toon side of the deck. Toon's going to go ahead and deploy here, getting the field spell, which will get us the Funny Bunny. Which is kind of a cool concept for this deck. I did like, you know, having access to the bunny just ensures that, you know, you get access to the big combo line. We'll go ahead and see the rotation of field spells here, which is good. All right, so we can go ahead and we'll see a lot of banishing here, which doesn't really affect our bottom line, I feel like, as long as, you know, we have some stuff for the future turns. But also that just means that Malice has more of a potential explosion across table. So we are going to go ahead and see the adding of the pitch search for mind scan, because, you know, I love making sure I get all the hand knowledge away from my opponent. We get the mind scan. So now we see a lot of Malice monsters here. We also see the backup secretary being revealed here, which is going to be problematic. All of this Malice stuff is potentially going to be really broken. We just have to make sure that, you know, what the opponent has here, this mind scan needs to be able to control. So Rabbit comes on back here. We'll go ahead and rotate our field spell. All right, go ahead, and I see that we're going to get the comic hand here. All right, very, very basic combo lines here. All right. So now we can go ahead. The Funny Bunny has the extender play, but we're going to go ahead and filter 6. What are we searching for here? Like a hand trap to deal with Malice is probably the best thing. But you also have to remember we're under shifter. Imperm is a pretty good trap card. Ghost Ogre doesn't quite work here, but probably the Imperm was the best card that we were hoping to possibly find there. Losing those extra deck resources I don't think really matters all that much. All right. Kind of shift the Rabbit to defensive mode because it is a new monster now. And then we'll go ahead and set 2 cards and pass turn on over to the opponent. I mean, they do draw a Magna Hut, which, I mean, it's a monster that they can establish, which is kind of funny, honestly. I do like that. But you have to deal with a mind scan. You see the Malice coming down here, which is going to be fine, I feel like. It does give them something. We do have the comic hand to just go ahead and provide us with an answer to this anyway, which I think probably will just kind of wrap up the game here. Because it's all it needs to do, right? Just get the tribute up and we're good to go. See the tributing here, and then we see the establishment of the evil box. All right, which goes ahead and we'll just start bumping whatever the Magna Hut attempts to target, which is fine. Having that control option is great against the opponent. And we do see the concession. All right, game 2. So the fact that the opponent decided to scoop is good. We do see Malice Underground slamming on the table here. So we get to watch basically fully unchecked Malice combo here, which go ahead and see the Dormouse coming onto the field. All right, the first ping of the great 300 race. We will go ahead and see the Rabbit coming on back. All right, so now we just kind of get to go ahead and watch the swing through the combo, get the trap into rotation here, and we are just going to be kind of free to kind of start setting up and going as we need to do. Combine our powers together to go ahead and make the Link 2 here. All right, we go ahead and see the Cyber Switch. That's a cool card. Actually, one of the cooler new cards that this deck gets access to that we don't quite have. All right, so go ahead and kick off our field spell here, which goes ahead and gets us a free search out of the deck, which is really, really good. Getting access to the big guy will ensure that, you know, we will be able to kind of keep things going for our combo line. And he can also be used out of the hand as link material, as you're seeing right here, which gets us free access into the Wicked. All right, gotta love that free advantage. All right, so we get to go ahead and trigger our effect, get a free dot scraper into rotation, go ahead and trigger the Wicked. This is just free. All right, go ahead and see the banish here. All right, go ahead and get our backup secretary pulled up. Now we can extend down with the backup secretary. Go ahead and get our free search out of this. We do see the extender. Gotta love the Tri-Wizard. All right, so now we are just kind of free to do what we want to do here, which is exactly what we wanted to see in the first place. Link 1. The fact they still have the Link 1 is so good. All right, go ahead and get the revive back on the transcode talker so we can kind of keep up the Congo line here. Here comes the ally code talker. The fact that we did all of this without, needing to super extend, now we get to see a Malice play line coming up here. All right, now we can go ahead and make our Lingaribo. Now we can go ahead and actually start things up. Here comes the Malice side of things. Remember, they don't get the Field Spell Searcher. They do have the one that banishes, though, which White Rabbit is really, really good for this deck. Like, honestly, the fact that it is the one that does do everything here is really good. All right, so we will go ahead and get the search for the trap card here, which I think will help things out, honestly. We have 2 traps in rotation here. We have another mysterious set. We have whatever we have in our hand active to work with. All right, we'll go ahead and see the trap card here, banish. TB11, we will get the special summon here, which we will see our rabbit come back out of the thing, and we have the Cheshire Cat to be able to trigger here. All right, pay the 900, back comes our friend. We're going to go ahead and pitch something else to get some draw power here. Because with the rate we're going, we have a pretty gosh darn good hand for what you would be expecting here. We just got to find out, if the filtering here is going to be worth it on the long haul. All right, we'll go ahead and see the banishing off of the other trap cards. So MTP, go ahead and get our other Malice piece pulled up here, which is great. Go ahead and verifying to the opponent what's going on with this. All right. We will go ahead and see the trap bringing back our monster. All right, go ahead and pitch that. That's so good. We get our draw power finally. All righty, go ahead and get our draw 2. We will go ahead and see the paying of the great 300 to add back off of our cat. All right, what do we end on here? I mean, we have not triggered the revive yet, which is pretty devastating to the opponent, honestly. Not having access to that's pretty broken. All right, we're going to see a firewall come. Oh, that's even worse. That is probably the worst thing you could have. All right, well, firewall plus this is broken, and if we can trigger it to add back, we have 4 in hand, and we see the pass over to the opponent. Well, I guess good luck. We see a rabbit touching down here. We're going to go ahead and see a solemn warning for the cutoff. Yeah, that's probably going to be game. That rabbit doesn't even get to touch down. That's a big old yikers. That means you've lost your extender. We do have the Toon World Field Spell, which I don't know what this is going to try to do, but we'll see the negate on the Ogre, or the Ogre blow up. I'm going to go ahead and try to Tri-Brigade line here, which, if this does go off, it could be a problem, but, I see we... Alright, what are we going to do about this? Alright, we're going to go ahead and negate that. I mean, that's a pretty big concession. Alright, game 3. Alright, so we're going to see the full power of this deck start off. We're going to go ahead and see the Ogre on the field spell. A little bit disappointing, but that's fine. You act like we don't have Tri-Brigade cards to bridge us out. We're going to go ahead and tack Talents. Ooh, we're going to take the draw 2. Alright. We do see a draw 2 coming down here, which is by far probably one of the better options we could get. We're going to go ahead and see Fractal being pitched here. So now we can start the races. We'll go ahead and mill down Nerval. All right. We're gonna ash this, because cutting him off of the Nerval is probably one of the best little lines that you can do, because that just ensures that, this deck does not get to do the extra, like, crazy gas that you would kind of expect it to do. But I mean, you're still playing Toons. Like, I'm already surprised that this is a real deck in this current format, but we're going to go ahead. We are getting our ad. All right. We're going to get the Tri-Brigade Spriggan's kit into rotation here, which the opponent's got to verify what this does, which is fine. I mean, it's a good card. We'll go ahead and see the kit. All right. And the extender along with it. All right. Go ahead and we have a banish 1 and 2 to do some plays. I'm going to go ahead and see the banish 1. So this is where we get to cheat out the Link 1. Hello, Mulcharmy. Or, Yummy. We'll go ahead and link to. I'm curious, what does this deck actually do? All right, so we get to see the Tri-Brigade link 2. We get Nerval back up. All right, go ahead, do the reveal 2, reveal 3, send them. All right, I see we drop the Chimera. That's going to be problematic for the opponent. We do see, we get to add Toons off of this because it is a beast. Oh, that's so cool. All right, we get to go ahead and make the Tri-Brigade or the good card here, which I do believe is our extender. All right, we get the comic hand extended onto the field. Go ahead and spin it on off. Now we got to access the bunny. Now we can do full combo. All right, go ahead and search here, which we can get the hand reveal up and running, or we can get the evil box, but looks like we're just going to go ahead and evil box, extend back. The Toon will come back here in a second after we get this. All right, our Toon is now back. We have the Toon Terror loaded up. Rotate field spell. Field spell is now established, which is exactly what we want to be seeing. This is so good for us. Like, this is the best case scenario as a Toon player that you want to see. You have the one consistent good thing here. All right. So, what do we do now? We get our other field spell. What's our board going to be here? We are going to go ahead and grab up the Mind Scan Searcher, which will put some pressure on the opponent here. I think having access to the Mind Scan will help us out here very, very nicely. We will go ahead and see, ooh, Link 2. That's an interesting one. All right, we're going to go ahead and see a Link 3. All right, that gets us into the trap card, right? See, they are taking the draw here to get the search to filter a little bit more, which is good. We are going to go ahead and see the Tri-Brigade coming back for the pitching of the two, which is a little bit of a rough cost trade-off, but I mean, like, it's fine. We're not really too worried about, like, the Mind Scan emphasis at the moment. We will go ahead and see the kickback. Evil box comes back. All right, now we have this, forcing the hand reveal from the opponent, which is so good, by the way, because now we see the Tri-Brigade. We going to banish here to get this set up? Because, okay, Shirag is going on back into the extra deck. We'll go ahead and see the banishing of 4 here. Are we going to actually hard make the Shirag here? I think we're going to. All right, see the banish 4, make the Shirag. That way, the Shirag is a searcher here. We do see the other... oh my god, we've gone through like the whole Tri-Brigade package here. That's kind of crazy to see, just like the emphasis. So, I mean, like, this is an M board, right? You have pretty much everything you need. You have the Mind Scan, you have the Toon Terror set. I feel bad for the opponent trying to overcome this, because this is just a really bad situation. And we have the Chimera down, too. That's really, really devastating. All right, well... good luck. They draw Malice card for turn. No surprise there, but I mean, like, what do you really expect? And go ahead and set the MTP. They got to try to set up and do something here, because like you gotta hope for the best. But I mean, we also have Mind Scan, so it's not like it's gonna be an issue. Just verifying the Malice names here. All right, and then we'll go ahead. I see the Chimera reviving the comic hand. All right, and then we do see the banishment of that. Ugh. Well, that's rough, but whatever Malice monster you're going to establish is going to get ripped off of the field, as is Legacy of Toons, but happens. We see the Malice monster coming down here to start off, which they got to try to do something. And then we see the patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.